guys, today I'm going to talk about the 5 things I wish I knew about a router table before I bought the most expensive one you could buy and then sold it and made my own. Quick rundown is you can make your own easy. You can make a fence for it super easy. You can add dust extraction to it easy. You can turn it into a joiner really easy. A few others, but let's go through this now. You can make the base out of almost anything. This is literally just a piece of plywood because I wanted it to fit in between 2 MFT tables. I just glued up 90-degree piece of plywood on there so that it tucks in tight and I can clamp down on it. But you can literally make the base out of anything. And this is a plunge router. If you had a fixed base router, some of those are actually a little bit easier to adjust the depth on because you turn the body to adjust the depth. Whereas this one, if I don't make a lift for this, I have to flip it over and adjust it from the top. But on my next point, that's one of the things that I'm really not that concerned about. Having a lift, like something you can adjust the height of the bit from underneath, is a luxury, not a necessity. I'll eventually probably make one, but for the time being, say I want to cut something 3/4 of an inch deep. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Probably not, so I'll put this down, but I'll show you just how easy it is. This is my reference board. These are 3/4 of an inch plywood, and that's the height I want to cut to. And that's my bit height set. If you need to adjust that, you can use the stop system and the micro adjust on most routers to get it to what you need it to be. And it's as simple as that. There's always an ingenious way to work around not having a luxury. And I feel like that, personally for me at the time, or at this time, is a luxury. You can pretty much make a fence out of anything you want to. This is some scrap made of ply. Same thing I made the base out of. And you can just hole saw a hole out of it, cut it in half, and then screw it back together, clamp it down to your table, and you've got a sturdy base that is going to allow you to cut dados into boards, add your specified height. In a matter of minutes, seconds, you can convert it to be a joiner. If you don't have it, simply by screwing a piece of 1/4 inch ply to one side, using a second piece to get your bit aligned across there, and then using a straight edge across the face of both of them, lining your bit up so that it's dead even with the face of both of these. Turn that so it lines up, lock your fence back down, and now you can use this as a joiner and it'll remove 1/8 of an inch from every pass, or roughly thereafter. So in conclusion, pretty much everything that you're going to get out of a higher end router table, you can do yourself for pretty cheap, pretty quickly, and save the money. If you need to use yours and have, you know, fine adjustments on the fences in and out for joining boards, you can build that yourself too. It's going to take a little bit more time. I had that function and I never honestly used it in the entire time that I owned that router table and fence from Festool that I used to have. I didn't use any of the functionality. It had a sliding table. I also didn't use that. It's a lot of stuff that I'm sure people can use, but for the basics, you can get away with doing this yourself and saving the money for other tools. In a matter of minutes, seconds, you can convert it to be a joiner. If you don't have one, simply by screwing a piece of 1/4 inch ply to one side, using a second piece to get your bit aligned across there, and then using a straight edge across the face of both of them, lining your bit up so that it's dead even with the face of both of these. Turn that so it lines up, lock your fence back down, and now you can use this as a joiner and it'll remove 1/8 of an inch from every pass, or roughly thereafter.